Okay, so this is going to be our flame test lab. Before we actually do the lab, I want to talk about how to light a Bunsen burner, okay? So I'm going to show you a couple of things about Bunsen burners because they really aren't that hard to light if you know what you're doing, okay? So there's two different places where you can adjust using a twirl, right? A screw kind of like motion. The first one here, you'll notice as I go up, more and more space where gas can go. So if we're thinking about this, right? This is where the gas comes in, and the goal is to get the gas up here, right? So as you're lighting, if this is open, you're not gonna light up here because all the gas is being let out here, right? So when you light a Bunsen burner, you need to make sure that this is all the way down. And once I light it, I'm gonna show you that we do use it to let more oxygen in order to get the blue flame that we want, which is the hottest flame. And then down here, if I move this, this is how much this is how much gas gets let into the Bunsen burner. Okay, so since I'm pretty good where that's at, so I'm gonna leave it as is. And then you have your valve here, right? So if the knob is horizontal with the valve, that means it's off. When I turn it vertical, you can hear the gas, that means it's on, okay? So obviously I don't want the gas to be on until I'm ready to light it. Okay, so that's the Bunsen burner. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the striker, right? So this is your striker. You'll notice that there is like a pad here, like a nail file, and then you have another tip here, okay? And what you're doing is you're causing enough friction to cause a spark, okay? So the way that I do this is I hold it with one hand, and with my dominant hand, so my right hand, I push this guy, so the thing that's going to cause the friction, into the nail file type thing. And then when I'm pushing down, that's when I strike it across, okay? Did you see that? And that's what you're looking for. A lot of times students have a hard time getting a strike with just one hand. That's why I recommend doing two hands, okay? All right, so now I'm going to turn the gas on, and you can hear it coming through, okay? And I'm going to come here, and I'm going to strike it. And that's what you do. You get a flame, okay? Now, this is not the color flame that we want. We want a really hot flame for this lab. So I'm going to come here and twist to let more oxygen in. And I'm going to get a nice blue flame. Okay, now I'm going to turn the lights off because it's really hard to see the color with the lights on. Okay, now in order to collect the lab data, you're going to have to pay close attention to what I say, what metal I say that I'm burning here, okay? All right, so the first one I'm doing is copper. So I'm going to take my stick, and I'm going to put it in the flame. So you are recording what color you see. Okay, so that's copper. The next one I'm doing is iron. Fe, iron. Again. Sometimes they're a little hard to see. Let's try again. Okay, so that's iron. If you see no color change, you just record it. This is sodium, Na sodium. That is not the flame, that is the color that sodium emits. This is potassium. Potassium's kind of hard to see. That's so pretty. That's not the flame. That is potassium. Potassium. Okay, and then the last one I have here is barium. Ba, barium. Again, that's not the flame, that's barium. Okay, barium. All right. And then the last two that I'm going to do are the unknowns, and then I'm going to show you something fun, okay? So this is unknown A. Unknown A, we don't know what it is, so you're going to have to analyze what it is. This is unknown A. Okay, unknown A. And this is unknown B. Unknown B. Okay, so there's your data. The next thing I'm going to show you is just sort of how it's kind of cool, right? So we're going to change the color of the flames, and I'm going to show you, let's see, which one did we not see very well? Iron? Okay, let's see if we can get iron to work. Sometimes these don't work. Doesn't look like it's going to. So iron isn't going to work. That's going to be an error. Iron's going to be an error because it's not working. Here's potassium. Looks a little different than the stick. I would go by the stick. This is sodium. Okay. Copper. Barium. Let me let the copper go away. It's still burning there. Barium. Okay, now let's think about what's going to happen if I mix two of these together. So let's do barium and copper. You can see both colors. And this is how really fireworks are made, is that these metals are put into explosives and then lit on fire. Okay, that's the lab. Thanks, y'all.